Right. Well, you're using some of that down at on Business 50 though too.
To her, and she got in the elevator. She's like, "What?" And it was so weird.
Okay.
No, I was visiting the Twilight Zone.
I know. That's what she said. It was like one thing after the other. And then
Seems to disperse that sheet flow or whatever coming out of a pipe or whatnot.
Weird day. So they put the lodging on for July 2nd.
Good enough. That's all I had. So, all right. See you.
Which I don't see it's gonna. There's no fee stipulation. There's nothing. We're pretty. I mean, I'm just.
Mark coming.
I don't make the final touches to what Mike's saying.
Once we get it sent to Joe, we might be able to get it on the same agenda.
What'd you end up adding to your section for that code? Did you add a lot to it, or?
I divided it up into 3 sections. There wasn't anything in there about reporting violations.
You mean when we turn them on the prosecutor?
Well, on the deed.
Slate out.
We're sending
Stone them. Well, we don't report it. That's pretty good. That's a good one. Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Then when I'm in compliance, posting in compliance.
Ready to go, Betty? Sorry, I'm late. What's your name, Betty? All right, we'll call commission to order. You have any minutes to reports? Okay. Any commissioner committee reports or announcements, upcoming meetings and/or events?
Campbell tomorrow. Board of Directors for Realtors tomorrow. West Central Thursday. I'm not going.
We got an EDAC meeting today at Columbia Regional Airport.
Oh, good.
So,
Okay, first item on the agenda is video surveillance enhancement and expansion discussion.
Okay. In summary, we put this out for bid. We got 6 responses. The spread was between 102,598 up to 189,470. We did invite the 4 low proposals in for demos. Judge Beadham, Dale Gibler, Larry Vincent, and myself sat in on those. We all agreed that as far as image quality, precision security showed the best, and they were the second low at 105,820. We did kind of have a few conversations with them about some options. You should have an attachment. I think the pricing starts on page 4, I believe. So anyway, the recommendation is to award to Precision Security, and then kind of talk about the options.
She's at 102 or 105?
105, what did I say?
105,440.
Yeah. We do have commitments for Donnie's of 80,000 total.
I think 85,000.
40.
80,000.
It was 80.
80,000.
It was 2020, 15, and 25. So we do have commitments from different offices for 80,000.
Okay,
And so I guess what we're looking for is the balance.
basically 25,000
Right.
pre-option. Are any of these options necessities?
I wish Dale was here. I know that removing the current, all the cabling that's in there, I don't know.
Where is Dale? Okay.
He's not here.
I know where he's not. Does that help?
He must be at a conference or something
yes,
at
he did
Capitol
have a-
Plaza.
Yes.
So did he have a preference on any of this stuff? Did he give you an indication what we needed to do?
I didn't see him.
My understanding was that the $720, and I hate to speak for him, but my impression that he thought that would be worth it to get all that old cabling out of there. And again, I
Yes.
hate to speak for him.
It would sure help with the space.
Right.
He's voiced that several times, that would be something that would help, just because we've got so much stuff in this building. So I believe that he supports that particular option.
That makes sense, because we're going to need more in the future.
I don't have a clue how long it'd take to get all that wire out. So I don't know if it's reasonable or not. So that's what I'm dependent on you all for. What's Dale say? Does that seem reasonable cost for
I
removing
think he
that?
thought it was, well, just for comparison, we did have another vendor that proposed to remove all cabling, and their cost for that was $2,250.
Oh, so 720 is very reasonable.
And, I mean, that's all I have to go on to.
He's back there in the back going, oh, man. Any other option? Come on.
Table there, didn't
Okay. Any other options that are?
Judge, did you, I'm not really sure, I mean, as far as the 25-inch monitors, is that something you guys were?
That's what we were looking for.
Why 25 inch as opposed to what's it built in with?
Well, these are monitored by PCs and Marshall's desks,
Okay.
so I mean, they log into the. a
So it's just
network.
on their computer.
Yeah. I don't think that's a make or break deal for us at this time. I think that's just, we had an idea of what they would take to do that. I think until we get the system up and look at, see what it is, I think we, as far as that. The bottom item, I just asked for a bid on this. You know, this is,
There.
we're proposing time and materials in lieu of any sort of maintenance contract, and I just wanted some sort of idea. That's the biggest piece of equipment in the whole project, are the DVRs. And if one went down and we couldn't use existing capacity, we build existing capacity in there, that's what you're looking at spending. And I just asked for that price, so we had an idea.
Okay.
So as far as we're concerned, the only options we're really talking about right now would be pulling the cable.
Pulling the extra wire out while they're in there.
Okay, and then I did want to point out that they had you had talked about potentially building a closet on the first floor. In doing that, we may be able to save up to, I believe, $1,300. And my understanding is it's kind of hard to put an exact number on that, and he would just keep track of the hours. Let's see. If the county chooses to build a closet in the basement outside of the boiler room for the installation of recorders and power supplies, this would save approximately $1,300 of labor.
What did Dale say about that?
He was for that.
He was for that because what that does is move everything out of his office.
Oh.
The original proposal had drill holes. And
Oh, that's
all
nice
to-
for him.
To Mark Eichel's office on the second floor, and the way this proposal is structured and the systems they're gonna use, they could move them out of Dale's office, which Dale is all for, and put them downstairs. You'd have to build another cabinet like you did for the stuff that's in the hallway.
And that saves us.
It could save us up to $1,300.
Okay.
Just because it's in a more convenient spot, or what?
Right, you're not having to drill through the floors and run everything upstairs. Most of those wires that we looked at cross that area to go into Dale's office.
Remember how much it was gonna cost to core through there for the
Bathroom?
plumbing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is costly.
Okay.
And this is around the price that we were kind of guesstimating, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't remember when we started this whole thing.
We put money into our budget for this, into capital. I know we had. You did? Yeah. How much? About perfect, isn't it? Because if you take out the 1,300 and you add the 700, it comes in at just under 105,000.
So my only concern is going forward is the Carnegie building, and not knowing where we're at and what we're going to do with that.
I think the assessor's going to pay for that, though. Right?
That's what I know, there's a bunch of
I mean, he's one of the ones who's putting money in. So, had he not, I would have had that same concern.
Will we be able to pull those off the building or something and reuse those?
Yeah,
and
all of it's reusable other than the wire.
Okay. I'm good.
I'm good. Good? I entertain a motion to approve the recommendation and award the contract to Precision Security LLC with the two additions of removing the current wire that's not needed and building a closet in the basement.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all very much for your work in putting this together. And if we need a contract,
Yeah, I didn't know what options.
I know
we had.
we'll need to get a contract. I think, do we send it to them? They send it to us? I don't know. Whichever way you do it.
We'll talk. But-
Because we have to actually vote and sign a contract. So, great.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Look forward to working with you. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the Elliott Data Systems contract.
So this is a contract for an upgrade to the badging system that all the county offices use. We're using some public health emergency preparedness monies. Well, did you guys get a final copy of the latest contract?
No.
That
No, we did not.
That they came in at $57.
Okay, sigh. Nah.
This is
And this is an upgrade to our existing system.
What badging are we talking about?
And I don't have mine with me.
It includes anything from emergency.
Pretty important, huh?
response, yeah. Everything from
Here we go.
first responder
Popped off my
badging to volunteer system badging.
So is it just for health or?
No, the
No,
whole
no.
county uses it, and if we would have emergency response event where all the volunteers are coming, we could issue them all badges.
Isn't that what EMS or
Yes.
emergency
Yeah.
services has?
It is.
This is
It's
the
actually
same
health.
It's an upgrade to what he's running.
And it
Oh.
is actually owned
But
by
it's
the
a-
health department.
Yeah, because we got it through a grant.
Right, we keep it out at the fire
Oh,
station, everybody
okay.
uses it.
And we
We can make
collectively
you one if you want
use
to.
it, yes.
Well, I was just,
They should have.
I mean,
We don't?
I mean, you should make some.
We don't have them. They offered to make them for us.
I do.
You have one?
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Yeah, you just had to go out there when they were doing
Yeah,
it.
they offered to make them for us if we wanted one, but there's kind of no need for one is how we looked at it. But it's a different one than the standard county badge. Hey Larry, it's a different one than the standard county badge. It's for emergency issues only. We probably ought to have them actually. Come to
If
think
we
of
had
it.
like a mass
I mean, is it-
access event, we would put the barcodes on there and
Is
people
it
would
something
come
that
in
we
and
could
issue
eliminate
there.
these or not?
Yeah, it's different technology. These are not. These don't give you any swipe access. What they do is in the system, that barcode in the system codes and has
Hey, we
everything,
would need
every one of your
security for
specialties,
transport.
every one of your
Any
expertise.
SNS material.
If we have to do an instant command, it tells
No,
it
we just
indicates
need
which
security.
room you go to, all that stuff. If we even had to,
closest
theoretically, if
are
we had a
our
locker room
RS
down,
sites.
like if the policy room had to be locked down,
That's the
we
closest
could
site
put
where we
a
pick it up. It's close.
highway patrolman out there who would know none of us. As long as he had the scanner, he would be able to authorize who came in or
Your
not.
basement.
Not that
Oh,
that would ever
sure.
happen, I don't think. It could, theoretically.
No,
What's the bottom line?
$5,700.
Out of the grant funds, but that does require an adjustment to the budget because of the salary line item, but it will later this year.
So you've got
Is
money
it the
to do
Kim-
this.
That we have to spend
is it
by
a
June
Kim
30.
push unit?
And the software's already been
No.
updated. Software's already been upgraded.
The software. I like
This
that.
morning.
I wasn't gonna laugh at her. I thought that was some new technology term.
The software's already been.
I was going to
Yeah,
laugh at her.
So do we need to, if we decide to approve this, then we have to cut a check by the 30th? So
Yeah, we need to spend the grant funds.
But we have an accounts payable run, which we
today,
can, but we can approve it.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
approve it through that run.
Okay.
And just go through.
okay.
They can always do an independent run.
Only for the commission.
Only when we vote to do it. All right, I entertain a motion to approve the contract to upgrade the emergency badging system.
Second,
Motion second, call roll.
Chris?
yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Yes.
By roll call, votes approved. Thank
We
you
can do
very, very
emergency
much.
run if I
Appreciate
need
it.
to check all the turkey,
Let
you
us know when Chris and I can come out and get badged. Because we probably ought to have just.
I can take you out there.
Do we
this
need to-
morning. I can't guarantee it'll work because this one crashes.
How long is the lead time on getting the new in?
It should be within a month or so.
Okay. Let us know when it's in and it's up and running. We'll swing out and get a quick badge.
With the, once I get this new system up, we can actually come here, take your picture, and send it out there and print over the net, so.
Oh, I can't
Okay.
speak today.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate what you all do for us all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Accounts payable review. Chris.
Everything looked good. I just a couple things out just to kind of get you guys. Lane Construction is done, and talked to the judges, and they were very happy with his
Good.
work.
He
Logan
does nice work.
Yeah.
I have to admit, he does
Yeah.
nice work.
And then Logan Excavating has completed the Millbrook Gravel Road upgrade, so that is done, and that was it. So
Awesome.
I think I got one in there, right?
yes, you do.
All right. I'd entertain a motion to approve the accounts payable.
So moved.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Anyone abstain?
Yes.
I assume that other one was
Yes.
Elliott.
The Elliott one will go in that because we just discussed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Care leave committee recommendation.
A lot of these lately.
Good morning.
Unfortunately, the
Care
same
Leave Committee
person.
met on June the 11th to consider care leave for an employee that we, this will be the third month that we met over about this employee, and they voted to allow another 148 hours of care leave for this employee. And we're asking the commission to approve that request.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
Thank you for serving as our chair too, Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
Yeah.
48.
Jag Mustang grant application. We're
You get-
rolling today,
You get a
man.
choice in that, Larry.
Thanks for giving me that option.
Thought we'd gonna be here for a while.
Let's re-up Larry on that.
Okay,
Wait till
Mustang
he
grant.
leaves.
That is the application for the Mustang grant. We're asking for personnel, rent, utilities, cell phones, internet, hotspots, and hotspot services. This is just the application.
All right.
Do we have to have a motion to?
We
Or
just
do
we,
we
just
just
do it
sign
by a
it?
voice vote. We've always done on these applications.
I would point out to you that there's no bond money in there because they do not allow it.
Okay.
And because of that, all the agencies are going to start having to come for their budget times talking about drug liability.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the grant application.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approved. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Betsy.
Thank you.
Use of new jury room as training facility.
That would be Donnell.
Could somebody call Donnell?
You skipped over Pringer Family.
Oops, sorry. Pringer fan. Will you call Donnell? Somebody call Donnell? Sorry, my bad. Apologize to you, Michael. Discussion of Pringer Family Center food services.
It's up to you.
Well, this is something that we had discussed once before, and I went back and took a look at.
Just don't read them out loud. If you hand out something, don't read it.
I'll just go over and give the high points of what we have. I know that there was a proposal, of food service, and this is being done at a lot of the correctional facilities and all. I just wanted to.
We already have a contract for it.
Yes.
So I mean, this is somebody we already use.
Right, but for what it was my understanding, if we were to be part of that, we would have to rebid that out because it would not encompass what is already being proposed for the jail at this point.
It's a different type because they are in school and they have to abide by different regulations. So
Okay.
yes, the rate is different that they were proposing than what the current insurance has.
So we would have, and that's what I put in the talking.
Okay, so we have to bid it.
Rebid it out. One of the things I just wanted to point out is that within that particular proposal, they were proposing to having one hot meal a day and then 2 cold meals, 7 days a week, and then no snacks. I did put in there for our regulations that we are required to have a kitchen, have 3 meals a day. Our meals we have 4 hot meals a week, 3 times a day, and then we have cold meals for breakfast. We don't provide a hot breakfast every day. I just wanted to point out also, 98% of our kids are not there because of a danger to the community or self. They're there because of the neglect and abuse. So we have a different type of clientele that we deal with within our residential program. Our second part of it is our detention facility, which I would make it comparable to the jail itself. So we do have a different population which we're dealing with. Also, the kids that we have in our program, also we try to do a life skills program so that when they get out, they can be somewhat self-sufficient. So we bring them in there to do cooking and the whole bit within our kitchen under a supervised program that we have. Also taking care of laundry and things of that nature. So they do have that ability when they do leave to take care of themselves without having.
How many meals do you serve them?
We serve 3 meals a day, 7 days a week.
No, how many meals do you serve? That's how many times you serve meals. How many meals do you serve?
I want to say
A week, a month, a year? Give me a number.
A year, I think it's 10,900 meals.
10,900 meals. How much are we spending for kitchen expense?
Kitchen expenses,
43,000.
Yes.
And that includes food, salaries, everything.
No, salary would be, and everything for salary, I think that was 41. Altogether, it was 93 minus 12,000 that we get reimbursed, so it comes out to be 81,000 a year.
Okay, hang on. We get reimbursed $12,000. We get reimbursed $12,000 regardless how we provide the meal, or we can get reimbursed $12,000 as long as we have a cook who actually cooks the meal on site.
And the type of food that we provide, because they give us a menu on what we need to provide.
Okay, I understand that. But what I'm saying is if a third-party vendor comes in and provides to the guidelines, we would still get reimbursed,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
He says 12,000 more.
Yes, less.
No, it's 12,000 more. The total cost was 93,000.
93,000, yes.
93,000. So it's costing us $9 a day.
Yes.
A little more than $9 a day.
Yes.
What's the cost? What's the cost currently, or ballpark?
What
What's
they
the
were-
number under ABL
What they were proposing was $2.93
a day?
a day.
But we could upgrade that to 3 hot meals a day, right? And be less than $9 a day. It seems like that's a heck of a savings. Yes?
Yeah,
No?
Yes.
So, I mean, I think we should definitely bid it. Absolutely bid it and see what the cost is. Change it so that it meets all your requirements.
Hold on a minute. It says $290 per meal. That's a whole lot different than,
$290 per meal?
yep, 2.9036 per meal, which you're going to be close to $9 a day.
That's hot meals.
One hot meal a day.
Well, at $2,
Right. Yes, it's right.
Okay. Well, I think that's what Mark was going, is how much it's going to cost per day. So I think I'm confused now. So it's going to be the $290 plus what for the cold meals? We just serve them cereal, and we'd have some
Yes.
associated costs with that. So
It's 2 cold meals a day, breakfast and dinner would be cold, and then lunch would be hot.
You know, for these kids, if we can provide them with warm hot meals, it makes a big
yeah,
difference.
I like.
mean,
the
I think
idea
it's
of
really
serving them
valuable.
better than the prisoners.
And it may be a cheaper cost.
I talked to the food service director here. He's done this before, where he's done jail and then piggybacked juvenile on it.
Could
Yeah,
we
but
try it
that's
for a
what-
month?
But great, that was juvenile detention, not residential. That's
Yeah, this is a
detention.
different ball
It's a
game.
different ball game.
I understand what you're saying. And he says you do different meals with juveniles. Some meals are the same, some meals are different. He says that the difference is you're going to have stackable trays, and somebody has to transport the trays.
I think it's worth at least bidding it and seeing what we get. But I think I don't want to diminish the food service. If we're doing hot meals,
Yes.
we should do hot meals.
And we have to look at what it cost is going to be associated with picking up the trays, where they're going to be dropped off at, and everything. So
Yeah, that's
you know,
all be included in it. But I think it's
bottom
worth
line.
bidding it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that we also have the ability to alter what we're providing, because we get kids 24/7 a day.
Right.
So one day we will have, say, 9 kids, and then that next morning we end up with 10. And if they have special needs, I've got to be able to be very flexible in providing that dietary based on their needs and issues.
I mean, you guys get special needs people.
The basic diet is general population, type 2 diabetic, and Muslim compatible. They can do vegetarian, and this is going to be a pain for us a little bit, so I'm not one way or the other. I can just tell you what they do. We can do vegetarian diet with 45 minutes notice, and we can do a kosher diet with 4 hours notice.
I mean, you may have other issues then, right? You do gluten-free diets if you had to. How long notice does that take?
I think that's the one that's within the hour, 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Just, you know, you just have to have your own
I think we should come up with a bid, put it out, see what we come back with. I don't think there's any harm in doing that. If in the end we choose not to do it, we choose not to do it. But not knowing what the number is more dangerous.
Greg, what's...
Do I get with, in order to talk about?
Oh, she's hiding.
Greg, what's your cost per meal over there?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. You all got the contract.
It's a lot less than $2.90.
Yeah.
But that's because of volume.
Well,
So we do 100
It's
plus.
the week program that we have to abide by in the schools.
Yeah, yeah. There's just a higher nutrition.
So what are you gonna
It's
bid
the
it at
Michelle
then?
Obama menu.
I mean,
Kids go hungry.
at this price, we're at $8.71 a day. And according to Michael, at 10,800 meals, we're at $8.61 a day. So we're already 10 cents cheaper than what this is. But I mean, if we bid it, that's fine. It may
Yeah.
come back cheaper, but I
So
mean, we may be
numbers-
wasting a lot of time
I
too.
really like eating the food at Juvenile. It tastes good all the time.
Well, you need to serve him worse food.
I'm no comment.
Once a month.
Going over there for lunch or what? I know.
Which I assume is the same food you serve the kids.
Yes, it is. And that's one of the things that we have within our standards, that staff has to eat whatever kids eat when they're there, because our folks can't eat.
Okay. Well, I think we just put it together, we put it out in a bid, and if it turns out it doesn't make sense, we don't do it. But in the interim, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, thank you.
Does that work for you guys?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Jury room is training facility.
Yeah. I would just like to be able to set up projector, computer, phone lines, that kind of thing for training facility in the new jury room that will eventually be what after we build the.
It will always be a jury room.
Okay.
Because there's a courtroom right there that has a.
Well, I think they use it as something besides just a jury room,
Right.
because it's not
Maybe
always
the
being
second
used, and I
one.
said, I think that's a great idea
I
to
agree.
utilize it for something else.
What does it entail?
I just
Just
need to be
get
able
our
to set
permission.
up, just, your permission to be able to get.
Since we're
that's it.
landlords.
All right, good deal.
Good.
Did you talk to Dale about running
Yeah,
wires?
no money.
Not yet.
Because, well,
I think the wires are pretty much already set.
They have to put some
Because
line
they're
in.
already, I
but
mean,
to do it before they get finished with
They're
the
not changing
rooms.
any
As long as
of
there's
the
not a
wall.
cost.
Not
There's a
anything
cost,
for
it's
you
got to
all.
come back.
Nothing for you all.
Donnell says she's paying for it.
No cost?
No
No
cost?
cost to the county.
We like it.
From you all, anyway.
No, I think that's a great idea, Donnell. I think that's a great idea.
Okay. Thank you.
And since you're here, how about we talk about storage shelving units, which is the next item on the agenda. Funny how that worked out.
Get your money's worth today.
I got two options here.
Very expensive and more expensive.
Yeah.
But one-time cost and last time cost, right?
Yeah.
And you'll put that in writing and bind forever and ever.
Blood or something?
Yes.
We may
yeah.
actually require that on
Yeah.
this issue. We've gone through this one enough times since I've been up here that I may want it in
stamp.
blood.
I would prefer to have the rolling cabinets because they lock and it's actually gonna save a lot of room.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Cost?
Cost?
So this is two quotes from the same company, or
Yeah, they have governmental pricing.
so is this on state contract
It's
or?
on federal government.
Okay.
GSA. 41?
Uh-huh.
41?
We were talking about 20.
That's the other option.
That's the fixed cabinetry.
Yes, the fixed cabinet.
But the thing is, space is going to end up being an issue out there.
Yeah, and you can
Long
see-
term, that's going to be an issue because we've got everybody else's stuff out there too.
You can see on,
Hey, don't nod your head.
Yeah, my stuff.
You're getting space.
you can see it's basically half of the space that we have now.
Yeah, I mean it's an enormous space saving. There's no question of that. The
And they roll together and they lock. So there's no need to build a cage around it.
How easily are they going to roll? And I mean, is it something that somebody can,
Oh, yeah,
one of your
it's-
staff that can
it's
do
like-
that? I mean, that just seems like a lot of weight.
Have you ever been to the Secretary of State's office and seen theirs?
You ever been to the doctor?
So they've got
Doctors have.
they're longer than this room is, and they're on rails, and there's actually just a big crank at the end, and you just turn it, and I mean it takes like 6 turns to move a foot, and it just moves them right along.
Okay.
And if you're really strong, you can spin the wheel and they'll crash into each other. Don't do that.
Okay, good. And you can actually lock them in place.
I did it
so that
accidentally
if
one
there
time.
is- so
I didn't
they
know
don't
that.
can't come along.
I didn't know how quickly they moved, and I kind of just whipped the wheel down. Figured it would be heavy, and it wouldn't move. Bang!
Yeah.
So this takes care of all your filing needs.
Forever.
Well, plus.
Little Sandlot reference there.
Forever.
Wooden shelving out there, but this is, in this drawing, it's all included in regards to the overall space. We have one wooden shelving that we.
So for 41,707, that's soup to nuts,
Yep.
all inclusive,
Installed.
Everything.
and we never have to have another discussion about storage.
Except for the microfilm.
I understand that. Storage. We don't even ever have to discuss
Don't
storage
say
again.
microfilm around me.
We don't ever have to discuss storage.
Correct.
All right. To not ever have to hear the word storage from the circuit clerk again, it is worth every penny. No offense intended, Donnell, but both of your successors had the same, and we've just debated storage.
Yeah,
So-
I understand. It's a big thing. I mean, yeah.
My only
We have a lot
concern
of files.
is the problems that we've had with humidity out there as here of late. And so you get rid of the boxes and now all the files become,
Not knowing what
yes.
the files and boxes.
You were out there, not to interrupt, you were out there yesterday,
Mhm.
the floor sweating, and you've seen that. Humidity is a substantial challenge that we.
What is
fight.
causing that?
The door being open for
For the construction.
So when construction ends, we should see that it being less of an issue?
I can't answer that because prior, when the files were where we're at now, there has always been dehumidifiers in there, and there
I thought we
was-
had them in there.
I don't,
What happened to dehumidifiers?
They took them out, I guess, when they moved the file.
in my mind, it's not going to be any less of an issue because we're going to have 3 bay doors that are going to be open, and we only got a 12-foot wall or an 8-foot wall down that one side. So I mean, it's probably going to be worse. We're going to have 3 doors open versus 1.
The humidity has always been an issue since I have been there personally. And
What about the air conditioner unit within that cooler?
Yeah.
Well,
they're going to be taken out.
What?
Yeah.
In the cooler that's staying, the storage.
The one that we're keeping.
Those units are going to be extracted due to access, due to the construction. Chris, go ahead and comment there.
Yeah, they weren't currently working. So, but if we need to put something in there or reuse something to cool that storage room, I mean, that's something we need to take a look at. But, and I don't know, maybe, with just that room being closed off, I mean, it's a cooler, so I mean, maybe running dehumidifiers in there would take care of all that.
Right. It would need to be an appropriately
Size
commercial dehumidifier, and that should mitigate it just fine, but it's getting one appropriate for that square footage. You had 4 or 5 in there, and it was horribly inefficient, water hoses running everywhere, drain hoses, but if you get a good substantial commercial one to keep it at a steady temperature, that's, yeah.
I assume that your boxes above are having the same issues, or
Not as bad, but yes, they are. They're not on the concrete floor, so they're on that
All right, well, let's take a look at getting humidifiers. I mean, it's a different issue, but we'll need to look at a permanent solution to keeping that space at an appropriate humidity level.
That makes sense, don't it?
Definitely. I mean, I don't need.
I'd like to look at
gotta
next
preserve
year's
the
budget. Do we have money? Where's the money coming from?
Well, the only issue will be if we get the files all out. I mean, if we start losing paper, it's a problem.
Well, that's a different
Yes.
problem than the filing actually storing it, the humidity part. Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
I was talking about the humidity
Yeah,
thing.
I'm talking about the files. That's
Oh, the files.
I think the file cabinets. It's a good idea for utilizing that space, but it seems like we usually do these in the budget.
You have capital improvement budget copy. Do I have a capital improvement budget copy? What do we have for courthouse? What do we budget this year in courthouse?
Do you have the?
You know, I'll find it in there.
Do we have the ability to add to this, or?
Yes.
Or not? I don't.
I mean, so this is all basically modular.
And it can be moved as well.
And how much of the storage that's above, in that room above, could possibly be utilized into something like this as well? I mean, I know LV doesn't get into his stuff a whole lot, but some of the others.
Well, she actually figured it out for how many boxes I have there and what's left, we believe, in the attic. So if we needed to add on additional space, we would need to go back and.
I understand that. I mean, but we got other files and stuff that are being stored elsewhere, and so
Sitting on.
with similar issues. So
Did you find it?
We could probably.
I think it's
I'm
lined
thinking
out
that
in
we
there.
could probably add on to it. and
She has a
still
neat
lock
little
certain
spreadsheet
ones
that I
individually
thought I had.
so
Oh,
that
wait a sec,
we
what's
would be
this?
able to open. You know what I mean? Have two different keys.
Oh,
I
not-
think it would work.
was there certain ones that need to be only accessible by certain people, I guess?
Yeah, because I've got a mixture of confidential cases in there, and it should be, not for everyone's view, to be secured.
So is that cooler secure enough? I mean, because Bill and
Right now, it's not really secured. I mean, we do have a key, but a lot of people have key, and our files aren't secure. But I know we're moving through it. We're
You do?
going through a
How
change,
much do
so
we spend on
we agreed that we
moving
would
Maryland
overlook
and,
that
and,
for now until something more permanent could.
I know, but what's the
so is
41?
that
Budget
while we're doing
100?
this, or
Yes, because this has a lock issue on it.
so you can lock
I
all
can
this
lock
up?
these.
Okay.
Is this what we approved? I assume this is it.
So it all, Donnell, does it all have to collapse and then you lock it all together?
No, you have to collapse it and lock
See,
it.
I don't know when this was printed,
But you can
so-
also lock them, you can also lock them apart as well.
Right, but I don't see any faces or anything on to protect the files. I mean, is there a door that's taking you into that, or?
Here, let me give you the.
I think this is pre. I don't think this is
Right,
supposed
so I
to
mean, you
approve.
lock this here,
Yeah.
but then
They
all
can-
these
I think
are
that's a pre-number.
accessible, right?
Well,
Or do you have a door that you
put them
shut?
Together. No, you just put them all
That's what I
together,
meant.
spin them all together and then lock it.
Right, so
Yeah.
you have to collapse it all down to lock it, to make it secure.
Hey, can you use this money?
Well, you know how much money I'm actually spending on those video things out of there?
What video?
Cameras and so forth. That's where I'm coming to money out of that.
How much are you putting in? 40?
To what? I'm sorry. To the cameras.
40?
Judge Joyce was 25. Who was it on you? It says from Judge Joyce.
Russell,
Okay.
So it's not, when is this? How old is that?
March 31. Do we have a more recent report?
I found that out.
We need to get a more recent report and see what that is. Oh, who does? Oh, can you have Kristen get us a more recent one?
Well, I think the file cabinets are a great idea. Just
Yeah, but I mean, if
like
there's
it.
money in Donnell's accounts and we have some money in capital, it's another way to get it done more quickly. If we have to pull it all out of capital, we have to run the numbers and see if we do it this year or next year. And
Okay, well, let me know where the money's
Does that
coming
make sense?
from and how
Sure.
we're gonna do it, and we can take a look at it then. We also gotta look at the humidity problem first, so we've got time to,
the humidity problem we got to get on quickly.
Yeah.
I
well, we
think.
gotta wait till the construction part pretty much is
When will that
done.
be over?
Well, not really. It's a different cooler.
Correct.
I mean, so
This is gonna be a problem. It's gonna come up again. So we need to figure it out.
because I mean, am I correct on those doors being open
You're
a lot?
absolutely correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that something we ought to talk to Amoresco about and see if that's something they can suggest as
Well,
a
I
fix
mean, I just
while they're there? Because they're working down that side of the building, right?
I think it's something that we ought to at least ask them about because I mean, if there's that much humidity in there and those doors are going to be open, I'm just a little concerned now about maybe those ceiling tiles that they put in there too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, it's going to be a conditioned space, so hopefully the living space there would be okay. But I mean, there could be a lot of humidity above
That's
that
what I'm
living
saying,
above the living space. So.
Yeah, that's, I hear you, your vents sweating and other.
Are they?
Yeah.
Do they have? Does Amoresco have somebody out there today?
They have someone there at all times, but a decision maker comes usually Tuesday or Thursday.
Tuesday or Thursday?
Yeah.
Today's Tuesday.
Should, I say, I
Yeah.
don't quote me, yeah.
Maybe we can run out there today.
I think if you run some kind of air conditioner, I mean, we're not gonna keep it, 70 degrees in there, but some kind of air conditioner.
You just need
Those
something to-
coolers should be encapsulated enough to keep the humidity down since they were coolers. I mean, those were truly
Yeah.
coolers before.
The second cooler, absolutely. The first cooler, which we're moving into the space between our new living and above, is gonna be absolutely stagnant, other than whatever exchange you may get, so. the
Right. I mean,
concern-
yeah, I think if we get the second cooler, some type of dehumidifier, air conditioner, or whatever, but then we got to do the humidity is going to get worse, and then we got all these files in that room above the offices there, and I think Greg was talking about putting an air conditioner or something in up there or something, wasn't he?
Oh, above the administrative office?
Yeah, where all our
understood.
files and stuff are.
Understood.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we either
that-
need to get all the files together and have it all in a conditioned space, or
I agree.
something.
I agree. Okay. Will you, as soon as you get back out there, Mike, see if there's somebody there who can look at this quickly and get us some ideas?
Okay.
And give me a holler, and I'm happy to come out, or Chris. One of the three of us can be available today to come out.
Specific to the humidity aspect?
Yes.
Okay, understood.
Because while they're particularly since they're working down that side, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, while they're working down that side, if it's something that would make sense to wire in and set there,
Okay.
I mean, you might as well get it done while we're in the process of having the building open, as opposed to waiting until they're done, then doing a modification afterwards. And
They're there now, so, yeah, understood.
I can't imagine we're the only building in the world that has humidity issues.
No.
Especially this time of year.
Yeah,
Just leaves the floor doing good if it's sweating.
that's why we're going to fix this.
I mean, not just, I'm saying, not just the file area, but the concrete floor itself, if it's sweating, is that gonna be a slip hazard?
Well, if it gets the humidity out, it won't.
Yeah, if we get the humidity out, that won't be a problem. The issue would be potentially in the bays, the concrete in the bays, and I think that's traction concrete, isn't it? The poured bay. No?
But the whole thing's like that. That thing it used to be open all the time.
It
when
used to
they-
be open all the time, and they
Yeah,
never had an
so
issue with
can't-
it.
I don't think it's gotta be, I think the problem is right now you're taking these enclosed areas and they're
When
trapping.
Shepherd's
humidity.
owned it, those two doors were
Yes.
open all the time. That's why they had the cool. Okay, hang on. Different issues, Debbie. The discussion passed you already. We moved into a different discussion. We're talking about where the ambulances would be parked. We're talking about where the emergency equipment is. That part of the floor. That's not sweating, is it?
There, when you get these sudden swings, like yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
Shepley, you were out there. Yes, the floor all throughout the area did
have condensation on it.
Okay.
Now, once it stabilizes, it may take 2 or 3 days. I haven't been out there this morning, Jennifer, speaking. It will stabilize and become dry, but there are times when it gets a swing in humidity or vice versa, it will sweat. However, in the coolers, that transition takes so much longer because the humidity is trapped and the temperature stays somewhat stagnant. So there are two separate issues, but as far as the outside of the cooler, it does dry out. It just takes a couple of days and it's something.
Well, the cooler issue we're going to address.
Right. The bay issue.
There's no way to address it effectively in the bays because the doors are open and closing.
That's what I'm saying. It's just something you have to be cautious of, and unless you want to coat the I mean, you can get willy-nilly with it.
We haven't had a fall out there yet, have we?
Mm.
Your bay isn't coated.
No.
Your bay sweat currently?
No, because ours is smaller and our doors are predominantly open most of the time, so it's not an issue. The only time I've experienced it is on the administrative side.
Okay.
Well,
let's keep an eye on it. But we got to solve the problem in the cooler. We're going to need it. There's going to be a lot of stuff stored in there. We can't have it go bad. Mold would be a big problem. As soon as you talk to somebody out there, let us know.
Understood.
Okay. Anything else? Moving on. 1, 2, 3.
Just wanted
Okay.
to talk about the microfilm. I know we haven't gotten them.
It's not on the budget.
Okay, so it's something you want me to put on the budget for next year.
All right. It's not on the agenda or the budget.
That was all part of storage.
It doesn't say that. It says storage shelving unit. It does not say microfilm. I'm appointing Jeff as our official representative to the freshman and microfilm committee. Congratulations, Jeff.
No, Nell's probably at least happier than I am. Less happier, least happier.
When the
Most
two
is
of you
least is
agree
happy.
on the microfilm issue, we would be happy to put it on the agenda.
It's not that she disagrees with me, it's that the statutes disagree with me, or the way.
The statutes disagree with me.
We have that sometimes. It happens.
What do you want to do with microfilm, Donnell?
I just have those boxes, those 32 boxes that all of the rest of the year
What was the
have
cost?
been microfilmed, 18,000.
So if we look at for next year's budget,
That's fine, but I just need you all to know that it's very important that these cases get microfilmed and not just stored.
Bonfire? Anyone?
I didn't say that. I'm trying to behave with this stupid microfilm stuff. I don't know. Do we want to just get it done this year? It's the same thing. I'd like to look at it in the budget, so we're planning for it instead of just doing it now. So if you're okay with doing it next year, then Mark don't even have to mess with it.
Thank God, I don't want to hear microfilming again. Every
What do you
time
think,
the
Chris?
word microfilm comes in, it's a problem.
Well, I mean, the thing is, this would be hopefully the last time we would have the microphone.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, I'm not gonna say.
Hopefully.
But I would imagine that this would be the last round of microfilm that we have to do. Since you're gonna do the storage for the other files, and then we'll continue to scan.
I think putting it in next year's budget makes more sense, not because I'm not here, but just simply because that allows us to plan it out, as opposed to doing another adjustment. We've done a lot of adjustments here lately.
That's what I'd prefer to do. So if you're okay with that and there's no emergency, then I'd prefer to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'd like to see maybe the shelving and stuff. I mean, I don't know if we can do it this year. That's fine, but I'm kind of like Mark. I don't want to hear about microfilming anymore. So when you come back, I want the last and final cost, and that's it.
Blood oath. Blood oath.
So should I move forward with this?
I think
Let's
we
figure out
just
where
have
the
to figure
money's-
out where the money's
We
coming
got to figure out how
from.
to pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we got to immediately move on this humidity issue.
Yeah, because that is an issue. And then, can we go ahead and put that on the next agenda to revisit this and keep it moving?
Shelving
and decide
unit on the
what
next
we're gonna do?
agenda.
Next agenda.
So
We'll just.
July 2nd.
We have learned a very good lesson, which is if we keep sticking on the agenda, it never loses our attention.
my deal with it is while we're out there doing all this stuff,
Yeah, putting the railings-
should we just do it and get it done? Or, can it sit out there till next year?
It makes a lot of sense while we're out there doing it to get stuff done. Because then you don't have to go in and disrupt things after they're... Because Mike's folks are going to move in, and if we then decide to go do some more renovations out there, it can potentially be disrupting to you guys. It could be power. They may have to wire it. You just don't know.
I made a recommendation to Debbie, just so you guys know, Greg would be better equipped as far as knowledge base to
It's fine.
engage with Amoresco to address issues.
We just got to move.
That will happen.
Okay.
Yep, that will happen.
All right. Cole County Courthouse Expansion Geothermal Proposal. So, or geotechnical, excuse me. Geothermal. God.
Yeah.
Right now I'm starting to... So, this is in looking at expansion on the backside. They have to do the geotech. They went out and got Tom Gradell, who you guys probably know.
Gradell Engineering.
They do a good job. So,
Yeah, Bruce Dawson works there, I think.
did you guys get a chance to look at the...
I did. I don't even know if I got that.
It's $5,700.
Did you get an email on that, Jeff?
From Carrie? I got one from, I don't think I had the attachment.
It's attached to the agenda.
Oh, to the agenda, okay. Because I had his email.
So, so this is for how much?
$5,700.
And so does he have to do this in order to
be able to do design work, you'd have to have the geotech done.
So we've done. we
Survey.
paid
Survey,
CMPS.
geotech, any
Now we're doing
others?
geotech.
I'm kind of worried about the
And
tank out front, but I don't know when that comes in.
yeah. Well, I mean, we don't even know if we're going to afford this yet, and we we keep spending $5,000 here and there. I mean, I want to keep it moving too, but
Can't get any answers without spending some money, unfortunately. I don't like it either. Geotech and just there's always something else.
This is included in his overall bid, though, or I guess guesstimate.
Mhm.
So whenever we're talking
This is all
about
coming out of the net,
1.2, that should all be in there.
2.0.
2.0. It's 1.2.
I don't know what 1.2 is. Oh yeah, he's the 1.2 guy.
Okay.
All right.
So it's kind of the overall thing.
so what? I haven't really had a chance to read this. What are they proposing to do? Are they going to do some test borings? I mean, that's the only thing that I can see is that.
Verify utility locations, schedule the necessary exploratory equipment to conduct a site subsurface evaluation, then conduct that site subsurface to characterize soil, rock, groundwater conditions. They're proposing 5 borings.
Okay.
4 on the corners, 1 in the center. Do lab testing on it, come up with the report, come up with the engineering report that has foundation system, load bearing capacity, backfill, compaction, subsurface drainage, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Seismic.
Site classification. Okay.
All that stuff. Did you find it?
Yeah. Okay, I'm good.
Jeff?
Yes.
I entertain a motion to approve the contract with Gradell.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please. Miss Betty?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, by roll call vote, contract's approved.
CMPS, did we already sign them?
Yeah, we had already voted and approved it. I gave it to you in that folder.
Oh.
Jeez.
I was like, oh.
EMS medical oxygen agreement.
Well, there's technically nothing to do now, other than we're going to agree to bid it out, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the emails going on about that. We
okay.
Yeah.
pretty much have to. I mean, we have to bid it. We can't just keep going.
Can you give me those budget adjustments? Budget adjustments.
Is that something that we could bid together?
Yes, we're hoping to.
Oh, great. So we might be able to get a better deal since
One contract. I love the one contract thing.
I would have to defer to bins and all that stuff as far as the volume and all that, but.
Thanks.
Substantively, we can combine it all. We have 3 different tanks, D, E, and H. It's a very simple bid for us, how much to fill. Question mark.
Good.
So it's
Okay.
pretty much academic.
Hey, did you send him an email about your all's inspections and relicensure without any zero deficiencies? I think you ought to do some kind of.
They got relicensed at 0 deficiencies, and that's like top of the game. That's pretty much unheard of to get 0 deficiencies.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I didn't email you a response to it, but I echo what Mark and Chris.
I stand by my email, which is congratulations to you and all your staff out there. It's fantastic what you guys have done.
Thank you. Yeah. I know you love me, you don't have to tell me.
I have troubles with those kind of things.
First reading of budget adjustment number 7 is a $20,000 grant, LEPC Merck grant. Will sit for 10 days. Here you go, Debbie. Next is first reading of budget adjustment number 8. This is a $500,000 budget adjustment, which reflects the money coming from the city of Jefferson on the enhancement project.
Oh, okay.
That'll sit for 10 days. All right. Next item on the agenda is closed session, but that's not scheduled until 10:30. Do we have any other items to come before the commission in the interim?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to talk about Arcturus and this $100,000. And so I'm just having a hard time, and I don't know, maybe I need to talk to Russ on this, but it just seems like it's beautification and a little bit of design work. If there was a whole lot of engineering, or maybe he's including some engineering, and
It's all the engineering. It's all the. I would suggest you call him and talk to him. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm not an engineer,
Right.
And I cannot explain it. I know that they have to hire Bartlett and West as a subcontractor underneath them to do a bunch of it.
so they're flip-flopping work back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we might check with Eric Landwehr too, if maybe he
I
can take a look at it.
Yeah, I
and see
talked to
what he
Eric.
say.
I talked to Eric a little bit yesterday about it, and I was just, if it was just beautification and all this other stuff, I mean, $100,000
Yes.
seems like a lot. If there's a whole lot more to it, and it's a lot more engineering, but if you're dressing up a pig, that seems like a lot. But that's basically.
All right, let's. They're
No,
tough.
it's just because that seat has had stuff about the lipstick on a pig.
And the
before.
lipstick on a pig was a pretty common comment from the right of me in the
yeah.
past. I'd be careful there.
I know.
You may need a new chair.
Yeah, that's right.
Truck without power windows or cloth seats, leather seats. We had not a lot of analogies. It was
So,
kind of fun.
Anyway,
Well, I would
agree.
suggest
I'll
call
talk to Russ.
Talk to
and-
Russ, and if it gets you comfortable.
Okay.
I mean,
That's-
there is a lot of design that goes into it because it is hard concrete to do the framing systems on the walls and the piers. But I'm not an expert in that field. I would highly
But
recommend.
that's
you
all
guys.
included in our chunk that we're giving. We're not going to have to give any more.
No,
once it
this
goes-
is
so.
the whole project's 1.5,
Mm-hmm.
and this is part of
The
the
1.5.
1.5.
But the 35 that we've already
The initial
that
was not part of it.
Right.
Because we did that as an initial.
Let's see where we're going to be at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the city has, as you know, passed a resolution for $500,000,
Right.
which they will transfer over when we send them an invoice.
And then Thursday we're meeting.
We have to get a joint contract too, so I wouldn't get in too big a hurry. Which I've asked the city just to go ahead and prepare, but I'm going to ask Jill to go ahead and prepare one because I haven't seen anything from Drew. Will you get a hold of Drew and say we need that joint contract as soon as possible on Lafayette Street?
Lafayette Street joint contract, okay.
Okay.
You're not going to be at that meeting with CVB on Thursday?
No, I'm
With
not telling.
Chris? Okay, that's what I was thinking. I guess Randy's going to be there, and me and you,
Mhm.
you and I. Who else? Just us.
I think Chris Wilson. I assume that's it. I don't know.
I don't know what they want. I'm sure it'll
Well, I was
cost.
up there for the East Side Business meeting, and I was talking to him, and he just wants to kind of let us know what their role is in the community, what they're pushing. And I talked to him about, I don't know, a year or two ago about getting more tournaments and stuff around here. So I think he's jumping on that, trying to jump on board with that, trying to
But
get
we added
Chamber
that to the
jump on-
chamber contract too, as you recall.
Yeah,
Right.
so Randy's going to be there, and I talked to Missy and Sean, and they relayed to Randy that I talked to him and stuff, and he said they're going to figure out who's going to be appointed to that part of it. But I've got another handful of people that want to jump in on trying to get these tournaments to Jefferson City. You know, baseball is one I'm more interested in because I got the kids playing baseball. But you see soccer, they have a small country across the river when they have tournaments over there because everybody comes out for it. And I'm not a soccer person, so we got to get somebody on board with that. I heard rumor that Lincoln's going to be putting some more tennis courts out there, so you know that's more. You know, Jeff City is a sports town, so maybe that's the direction they need to head instead of
Well, and that's
a manufacturing town or whatever the hell they're trying to do.
I mean, Jeff City's tennis courts are pretty sad. I mean, the whole thing about it is that, I mean, I'm not a tennis guy, but I mean, tennis is a neat sport to play. But if Lincoln's going to do something with tennis, maybe they ought to get with Jeff City and do something really nice.
I'll tell you that they're having those discussions.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm well aware of those discussions. Those are being discussed
But I
between
mean,
Lincoln and Jeff City. They have different goals and desires, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So with respect to the tennis side, there are significant discussions going on.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's different opinions from the Parks and Rec than there is most everybody else.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be one of the things we're going to try to get a group together that we can try to form some new opinions or try to force some hands because you can't get the fields out there. It's cheaper to rent one field. I forget what the price is. It was like, okay, I'm just going to use round numbers, $85 to rent one, but if you want to rent two, it's going to cost $115 per field, which doesn't make sense at all.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
So,
but it is the city. I mean, you have to appreciate. I don't mean in a bad sense, but it is the city, and they control their own destiny.
sure, it's the city, and I bitched about that every time I had to pay out-of-town fees for paying a binder. They don't even, it's not even in the city limits, and I got to pay living outside of the city limit fees.
You have to excuse me. I have to make a call quick.
I don't know. I haven't played in a while, so.
So I talked to Chris the other day too, and I just told him that I wanted to explore this idea more of getting more tournaments and more sporting activities here in town. And
Hell yeah.
And anyway, and then Pelias and the Jeff City both had that shootout here, and I don't know how many. It was 37 teams or something that they had that came into town, and they utilized all these gyms and stuff, and so. I mean, we have a lot of facilities here. We just need to use them more and coordinate. And, I mean, volleyball. I mean, if they can do that for basketball, they could do it for volleyball too. And but we got everybody going in different directions, and nobody's working together.
That's why I wanted the chamber on board, and they kept pointing towards CVB. So I said, however we got to do this, if I got to get an outside group to do it, and we take the money away from chamber, we'll put it towards that. If it's going to bring more people into hotels and more economic development, that's where that money's supposed to go. So, I could care less about tennis or soccer, but there's a lot of other people that have a lot of more money to spend on that kind of stuff. So, somebody else that wants to run with it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think Chris does a good job over there, and it's like I said, I don't follow those sports either, but. You got soccer, and then rugby's coming around.
Yeah.
And
That's
next
another
thing you
one
know, I
starting
mean,
to
we might have lacrosse or something else here. And so, but I mean, if people are going to spend money on something, it's either, most of the time, it's their kids. And they spend a lot of money taking their kids to all these tournaments and stuff. So we just want some of it.
Jeff, you forgot pig in a cart.
Big in a cart, big in a poke.
I mean, there's a lot of people.
Why look for milk when you got a cow at home? I don't, Chris never said those. I just rearranged them a little bit.
Did you? Okay, I'll leave the pig alone.
No, you can bring it up. It was just funny. Well, Columbia had, in 14U, they only had 11 teams, but in the 11U, they had 33 teams up there this weekend. 33 teams. And we were leaving after a couple of the games, and there were a lot of people from out of town, talking about, going to the hotel first, or we're
Still
going to get
talking
something to
about
eat.
this?
Yeah,
Anything
'cause
else?
I think it's huge. So I don't want to beat that to death, but that's
All right.
where that's going to go. You got anything?
All right, let's take a quick recess. We'll reconvene at 10:30.
Do you know that Springfield outlawed taking away recess from kids as punishment at some of the schools?
As a punishment?
They outlawed it.
Yeah.
They need exercise. Yeah, it's a
Hey,
gym or
you know,
Well, then they get in trouble if they ran or asked for.
that's what they
An
should
hour.
do. Go run. Take
Yeah,
off
they-
running for an hour.
Yeah. How do you make a kid do that?
my first
Can't.
grade teacher